Hey, Connecticut, this is a pretty important update. It's a very important update. See, so while the GOP is paying Kellyanne Conway $75,000 to speak, which is a ridiculous waste of money because she can't speak, you need to know what's going on in the state. And the lawsuits are really critically important to the functioning. If you look at what the Criminal Practice Commission does, we did sue the Criminal Practice Commission. They appoint the state's attorney, and they also appoint the district attorneys. So we sued them. It's complicated. I want you to look at this because it's extremely important. It's extremely important. So here we go. There's a case in Stamford. We filed a first step petition for declaratory ruling from Whiting for Kremrich, Blowy, Gennario, Tierney, and Kavanewski, and others. We never heard. He filed a second petition for declaratory ruling from Whiting, from sitting in Whiting, with Judge Reed. Judge Reed. This is important, okay? Respondent Reed then destroyed 1,100 habeas corpus. I don't know if she got that many, but that's how many people downloaded it and said they sent it to her. Flynn filed a third motion for declaratory judgment with Judge Russell in federal court. Never heard. Okay. So what I'm saying is Judge Alexander, who's on the CPC, the Criminal Practice Commission, is orchestrating evidence tampering from the Chief Court Administrator's office, which was Bizzuto prior to Alexander, and then it was Patrick Carroll prior to Bizzuto and Alexander. I filed 63 judicial complaints, one for murder, to the Chief Court Administrative Office. Then I served them all. So look on the document reader. On February 17th, Mark Kohler, who was Secretary of State, got served. Congressman Himes, the Human Rights Commission, the head of the state police, Gorman, Jessica Wagner. Go through the list. Joe Crago, CEO of Whiting, Judge Reed. Judge Reed got served on February 17th, according to the marshal. Kimberly Morris, Kenneth Karras, FISA court judge, William Tong, the Attorney General, Lori Hauser, Brittany Maisler. These are competency monitors at Whiting. So I'll go back to the document so you fully understand what's going on here. This is asking for a declaratory judgment 3 times, no answer in 2 years. So what do? Application for prejudgment remedy number 40. Number 40. For $30 million. Judge Reed is a co-commissioner of the Criminal Practice Commission with Judge White. Judge White, who killed his own daughter, is a co-commissioner with Judge Reed, who destroyed 1,100 habeas corpus. And guess what? Those 2 judges are in charge of federal law, appointing the district attorneys. So they appointed D.A. Hallstrom, who's an activist, piece of garbage. Okay. Claimed that I threatened to blow up the court, which never occurred. arrested me for criminal trespass when I had a court order to be in court, arrested me for resisting arrest when, in fact, I never resisted arrest, and Judge Reed stole the video. It's captured on video, and they hired Dennis Bradley, who's a Jim Himes staffer, when I'm in a congressional race against Himes. For 18 months, the guy was extorted, I believe. And the complaint goes on to say a lot of different things. My identity was stolen. My securities licenses were stolen. 500,000 felonies occurred. Okay. And you go through the complaint, and then I start to talk about the judge. Respondent activist Judge Reed knows U.S. Senator Blumenthal offered Flynn a $100 million bribe through Elizabeth Greenwood. Violated HIPAA with News 12, Connecticut, through Whiting. Judge Mary Elizabeth Reed still claims she's not served. Hi. Here's the notice from the marshal serving number 36. Judge Reed. Now, there's 110 people on this list. Okay, and if you look at the court case, which we've looked at before, I can show you the court case if you want to see it. Oh, no, this is Eugene Riccio, okay? CPC Criminal Practice Commissioner, okay, who stole my brokerage firm. So here we go. The Criminal Practice Commissioner, this guy, one of them, stole my brokerage firm. He's on the commission with Reed and White. Here's the case. Okay. There are 19 defendants. Where are the other 640? Where are the other 640? Where are the other plaintiffs? I am the only plaintiff here. Susan Pierce is a plaintiff. Automatics is a plaintiff. Sherry Molinax is a plaintiff. George Benavides is a plaintiff. They sent in their appearances. I have them on my phone. Okay, copies of the appearances of the other plaintiffs on my phone. So, Judge Alexander, Judge Bizzuto, and Patrick Carroll on the Office of Chief Court Administrator are also on the Criminal Practice Commission. Okay, here we go. I sued the Bar Association. It's right here. Horwich is on it. Horwich is also on the Criminal Practice Commission. They're orchestrating witness and evidence tampering right here all day with Stephen Burnham. Who's Stephen Burnham? He's in charge of habeas corpus in Connecticut, and there are 3,300 from this case alone. So, the Judge White, who's a co-conspirator murderer, with Judge Reed, is orchestrating habeas corpus fraud, which is federal law. They don't follow federal law, okay? Andre Bermudez Hallstrom, District Attorney of Bridgeport, was appointed by the Criminal Practice Commission. Yeah, I'm asking him for $30 million just for one specific thing. Karen Cassidy, criminal. Dr. Drew Edward tried to kill me, gave me Zyprexa. You can read it. Keely Wolcott destroyed the evidence. Mike Genovese used boilerplate at Dumas for every single person that pleads not guilty. I am not guilty of resisting arrest. I got the shit beat out of me on video, which Judge Reed has the video, And she sealed it because she is a criminal enterprise unto herself. She ran the public defender's office in Stamford. Dennis Bradley's friends with Judge White. Dennis Bradley is not on the public defender's office. I hate to tell you, Jim Himes has a staffer in Bradley. Bradley says he's a staffer for Himes. He's not working for the Criminal Practice Commission, no, but he is working as a personal friend of Judge White as my attorney, destroying evidence. It's that simple. I filed 6 appearances in the Judge Reed case. 6. She destroyed them. I served her 4 times. 4. Even through the marshal. She's maintaining she's not a party. They won't put her on this screen. Okay, here's the Criminal Practice Commission. Here's the Public Defender's Office. Here's the Public Service and Trust Commission. Who's on the Public Service Trust Commission? Guess. Let's go to Grok. Let me show you how to do it. Who in CT is on the... Hold on a second. Let me make sure it's not the other place. Right. Public Service Trust Commission. Okay, hold on. Public Service Trust Commission. This will be number 41. Let me show you who's on there. Current status. Who in Connecticut is on the Public Service Trust Commission? Patrick Carroll, Thomas Corradino, DA, appointed by the Public Trust Service Commission, D'Alessio, Kevin Kane, hold on, Mary Summer, Dawn Westbrook, Randolph. Randolph is saying in the Stamford Superior Court, any known associate of Sam Magliari cannot get a fair trial. Well, mince. Come on. Patrick Carroll, for God's sake. Thomas Corradino. What am I trying to say here? Well, here we go. Let's bring the screen back up. If I can find Word. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. Where is Word? Here we go. Here we go. The Immigration Subcommittee of Connecticut is under the Criminal Practice Commission of Connecticut. They don't identify with federal immigration law. Hello, Eli Lilly in Stamford, Connecticut, lost a $1.4 billion lawsuit for Zyprexa, known as the diabetic killer. 17 states banned Lilly for Zyprexa for creating a drug that kills people with high sugar. And Zyprexa is a proven cause of diabetes, and it kills the patients while on Medicaid. So Medicaid wants to wipe you out. All this is about the doctors, Dr. Salcido. Here we go. Daniel Horwich on the Criminal Practice Commission works for the statewide Bar Council. They have 10 attorneys claiming to be my attorney I never retained, and they are cashing my stolen checks. You can read all these paragraphs. Larson, Congressman Larson, was served. He's on the list. He threatened to shoot me on January 27th, and I got shot at 3 times on February 28th. Chief Justice Mullins served and does not appear on the docket. He is the Chief Supreme Court judge who is a Muslim, who claims he has never heard of Sharia law. What are the chances that a trained Chief Supreme Court justice has never heard of Sharia law? That is a bold-faced lie, okay? These people denied all due process, yes, colluding with the Secretary of State, and destroyed all the votes for me when I ran against Blumenthal, when I ran against Murphy, and in 2020. So D.A. Hallstrom was appointed by the CPC. He's an activist. He's got a history. And Gabe Rosenberg controlled John Flynn's YouTube account through Todd O'Boyle at Twitter. It's a fact. Sorry, I've got the printouts. Judge Reed allowed all documents from Flynn's 17A 543 probate hearing to be stolen by Haiti and Nurse in Whiting. So upon information and belief, wow. We're talking about here the delegates at the convention being compromised. We're talking about Miss Godspeed's neurological report on me that I got a perfect score. Okay, it's hard to maintain someone has schizophrenia when, in fact, there's no delusions they can mention, they can name. They said to me I was delusional because I never ran for U.S. Senate, when, in fact, I did run and all the votes got erased by Scott Bates and Gabby Rosenberg. So we're really getting into the minutia here. Judge Tierney stole my house. Yeah. My brokerage firm got stolen and the building, folks. We'll talk about the public defenders and that D.A. Tamaccio in Stamford was sent to Bridgeport to lie in my case. You really have to read it because Flynn was intentionally placed on a high sugar diet and given Zyprexa to kill me. The judge knew, it's on the record, she encouraged it, and they tortured me for 149 days. It's hard to get around what's going on here because, yes, all these things need to be answered by the court, and these are the other 40 Nancy Navarrete, the statewide Bar Council, Eugene Riccio, Annalisa Strobato, Mary Ann Turner, Dr. Berger, William Tong. Here's an interesting one. Jim Andriana, chair of the Stanford GOP. Dr. Salcido, committed perjury all day long, talked in the first person about Dr. Drew, who tried to kill me, lied to the court. You can look at all these things. Marissa Paslick Gillette, bioengineer, running Pura, and now the Deep Lady has resigned as well because she's equally guilty. Judge Ozales, lock her up. And many other people are named. There's many more people to be named. But just to clarify what happened here, I filed multiple motions for declaratory ruling. They were all denied. These are constitutional right violations. And now there's a prejudgment remedy, number 40, for $30 million against Judge Reed, who just got moved back to the Stanford Superior Court from Danbury. Here we go. The Judge Reed destroyed her own service documents for multiple federal cases, and she doesn't listen to federal law, so she's maintaining she's not a defendant, when in fact, right here, she was served by the marshal. What's going on? She knew I was denied insulin as a type 1 diabetic and given a high sugar diet, then given Zyprexa. So they know that Zyprexa is used to kill diabetics because there's legislation proving that Zyprexa not only causes diabetes, but it kills the patient. Wow. To find out that the Criminal Practice Commission also appointed the DA, Tamaccio, Hallstrom, Nemec, Bavona, all these guys. It is a criminal enterprise bent on murder. Thanks for listening. I'm telling you, where we're going with this case, you're not going to believe it unless you actually read the documents and see the evidence. And if we go back to the screen, you will see right here. This is the case. This is the evidence. Administrative document. Nothing. Nothing shows. What's here? Administrative document. Nothing shows. What's here? There's nothing here. There's no exhibits. There's no motions. Where's motion 71? Where's motion 73? There is none. There's nothing here but administrative cover sheets with no check marks saying the document was not on 8.5 by 11 paper, which is false. That's the only paper I've ever had for my printer. There's my printer. It uses 8.5 by 11 paper. This one is signed by who? Nobody knows. Again, the clerks are destroying 300 cases this way. Money laundering cases against Bernie Madoff have been destroyed since September 30th, 2000. Hundreds of cases are destroyed, just like this one is currently being destroyed. And the case is against Bizzuto, who is the chief court administrator, till she resigned when she was served with this. Now it's Alexander on the Criminal Practice Commission, appointing the district attorneys who are lying to the court. I never criminally trespassed at a court. I never resisted arrest. And Judge Reed has the video of me getting assaulted and robbed, and the evidence that was stolen that day, 12/1/2023, is important evidence. It's 3 videos made by Elizabeth Harding Weinstein, who sat in this chair and talked about her upcoming murder, and she was murdered just like Susan Pierce. Spoke about her upcoming murder. She was just kidnapped, held against her will, force medicated, and she has a hit put on her by Miss Cantrell on the dark web, who is a KGB agent, and you can't make this stuff up. The police chief of Stamford, Connecticut, his name was Larrabee. He worked for Malloy. When Malloy became governor, he made Provader a judge. Judge Provader heard the Larrabee case. Larrabee hired a hitman named Filippelli to kill me with an axe. There's a federal case. There's 3 state cases. And guess who assisted Judge Heller? Bernie Madoff's attorney from Cummings and Lockwood, John Comerford. John Carberry, John Carberry. Comerford was a judge in the federal court who manipulated those cases. So, all in all, this case proves that the Stamford Superior Court is a total criminal enterprise. And as a final note, I just want to mention on this sheet, it says right here that Attorney General Tong was served. Judge Reed. Here, number 43, Attorney General Tong. And if you look on the other screen, guess who's defending all these people? Sean Leo Rutchick, Assistant Attorney General, is defending the Criminal Practice Commission, who's hiring judges and DAs that don't follow federal law, like the Immigration Commission. So this is a no-brainer, folks. It's all in the documents. If you ever get to read them, I'm sure it's going to be a bestseller. Thanks for listening. I don't want to go on too long, but I could go on for days. Who is defendant 16? Samantha Judge Oliver. No. That's an intentional misprint. That's Judge Vernon Oliver. You can't make this stuff up. So Judge Oliver is a defendant. He's in the screen, and they spelt his name wrong to maintain that he's not a plaintiff, a defendant in the case. If you look here, defendant 14, Kevin, Korng. No, that's Kevin Young. Kevin Young is a defendant. He got served properly. The clerk misspelled his name. Intentionally. I wrote corrections multiple times. And, where's Lawrence Tamaccio on here? He's the Stamford DA working in Bridgeport, which is not his jurisdiction. He was not appointed to run the Bridgeport District Attorney's Office. So that implicates Gioeli, Paul Forensic, and Corradino. And Corradino's on the commission. You can't make this stuff up. It's a cesspool of crime. Thanks.